What's really doing? We're back here for the very first time with WouldYouRather.io. You may recall there was a swath. I don't know if it's still happening because I don't keep up with current events and I live under a rock. Swath of videos on Would You Rather a while back. I want to say in like 2015, 16, that kind of era. If you're not familiar with the concept of what a Would You Rather is, basically you take two scenarios that are either ridiculous, dark, or really funny, and you basically have to just pick whichever one you think would be better to experience. And usually at the end of these ones will tell you what the majority of other players picked. At that point, it's more just interesting than anything else. It's like, oh, huh, I'm not the only one who would rather hike a large mountain than run a marathon, but I would rather hike a large mountain than run a marathon because the implication of running a marathon is that you won't be stopping. Whereas hiking a large mountain, you absolutely will be stopping for breaks here and there. And also that just sounds like it would be more fun. You get a nice view and stuff. And also I'm just very out of shape and would not survive a marathon. I'm using this site right up here for this video, for which I will leave a link in the description. But for now, let's get into some unusual scenarios, shall we? Hike a large mountain for me. And I am in the 59%, so many people saw my logic there and are okay with, oh, it just goes ahead by itself. But it was more split than I would have expected. I guess some people have more aspirations. Stay isolated for the rest of your life or have no privacy for the rest of your life. Now this is a little vague, of course. I'm assuming this basically means like you live in a glass house that's like downtown and suspended above the road so everyone can see. That sucks. When we say stay isolated, I'm not sure if we're saying you're just living in isolation and you can like contact people over distance. I tend to be introverted, so I'm like leaning towards this one, but then again, it's like, I've never been alone from all human contact for more than like, I don't know, a week, I guess. So who knows how I would handle it? The answer is probably not great. So humans are social creatures, even the introverted ones. But like, I wouldn't even be able to eat if I had no privacy the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like, it would disrupt my very, like, you know, like the pyramid of like needs or whatever, where it starts with like food and sleep. Sorry, I'm sweating under the pants because I just got done recording Ace Attorney and it's super intense. It's like food and air down there, and then like life satisfaction up here or whatever. That one comes later and is a little less important. I'm thinking I wouldn't be able to eat. Like I would be very sick if people watched me eat. I need to eat alone or like inside walls. So I'm gonna go stay isolated for the rest of my life. Interesting, another pretty split one. I'm guessing this is also just like a representation of how many of us are more extroverted than others, I suppose, because I do not consider myself that way. Have an extra finger, have an extra toe. This is interesting because this is one of those ones where there's an upside and a downside to it. Extra finger could be useful in playing video games, for instance, which I do quite a bit. An extra toe would just be, it would be awkward to fit into shoes, I guess, but you just get shoes that are a bit bigger than your feet, I guess. Well, it says an extra toe, so you'd have to get one shoe that was bigger. That sucks. I suppose I don't get to choose the location of it, so if I have an extra one, it's just going to be somewhere on my hand. Well, we hope. I'll go finger though, I think, because toes, it's like, then it's like your shoes are messed up. You're gonna have a hard time walking. So far, all the majority ones have been the ones I've picked, and they've been on the left side. Would you rather die before your partner or die after your partner? Oh golly, it's got intense. Interesting. I suppose it depends on my partner, because, like, you know, maybe they have some opinions on this. But I would probably go die after, because I don't know. I think the chances are great that if I'm spending my life with someone into my old age, we will be people who love each other very much. And so whoever dies after will have a harder time, you know, for those first few months without their partner, I guess. And I wouldn't want to sick that on anyone. So I'll go die after. Oh, interesting, very split. I'm sure some people were weighing the benefits of like, would that suck for me and would that suck for them, which is kind of what I was weighing in my head there. Would you rather be funny but not cool or be cool but not funny? Interesting. The semantics of this one are also quite interesting because I would say that being funny makes you cool, and it's hard to be cool without a bit of humor. Like, the people I find cool are usually the people I find funny. But I guess I would go be funny, not cool, because funny, be cool typically implies you're the subject of envy, and I'm not sure that brings a smile to my face as much as making people laugh does. So I'll go be funny, not cool. I think probably I'm going to be in the majority here. Yeah, figured so. What does being cool get you, but people upset with you? Have an unlimited army of gnomes for eternity, or be a demigod. Well, eternity is a pretty long time. What if I get tired of the gnomes? Demigod, please. What's with the gnomes? Hey, but you know, you 25%, maybe you're just being reasonable and saying that the powers of a demigod are not for you, and that's fair. I get that, but I'm just saying, like, what can I do with an army of gnomes that I couldn't do as a demigod is my thought process. Would you rather break into a stranger's home and stay for 2 days without them knowing, or stay outside for 6 days? Stay outside for 6 days! I don't want to go to prison. What? Are you out of your mind? It didn't say I had to do it in, like, the dead of winter. And even if I did, I could just, like, find some jackets. Would I rather play a small part in a good movie or play the main part in a terrible movie? I don't know, because like the terrible movies can still be fun, you know what I mean? Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I guess we're supposing I'm an actor in this situation, or at least have some aspiration for that, and it's like, you don't want to mess up your future by the movie's terribleness being associated with you. Probably I'll go play a small part in a good movie, because then at least it's like, you know, you leave a good taste in the mouth when, well, weird way to phrase that, but people will think of fondly of that small part, and then maybe it gets memed and stuff, and then maybe that leads to more acting work, and so you're not losing much by playing that small part, except I guess maybe the salary, but I assume that's not really our main motivation here. Play a small part in a good movie, please. Oh yeah, I'm an overwhelming majority there. Because playing the main part in a terrible movie could also be kind of fun though, right? Because then it's like you get to kind of go off script and do whatever. If the movie sucks that bad. The Fabulated Kingdom in the Sky, the Fabulated Kingdom in the Sky, please! I mean, I'm not great with falling from heights. I wouldn't say I'm like acrophobic, but ocean, no please. The ocean is lovely and beautiful and full of majestic creatures and sophisticated systems. It also has sharks and whales and dolphins and other scary things. No! Would you rather always have a random taste in your mouth or be unable to have taste in your mouth? Ooh, yeah, probably be unable. I don't know, because like I do like food, right? But a random taste in your mouth means the food you eat doesn't do anything anyway for you. You may as well be unable to taste, except now you're also going to be because a random taste of all the things in the universe that can be tasted, the majority of them are not good. I have to imagine, right? Yeah, I'd rather be unable to taste things. Really? Oh, wow. But like, what are the odds you actually land on chocolate? And how often does the randomness cycle? Or is it you get one random taste and it's there for all of eternity? Because that's basically the same as not being able to taste anyway. Nah. Never need to sleep or never need to eat. I'd definitely rather never need to sleep, because eating I enjoy quite a bit, and I would be able to do a lot more if I didn't need to sleep. Although, never needing to eat, I might have thought a bit more about that, because if I never needed to eat, that doesn't necessarily mean you wouldn't feel hungry, I guess. Yeah, never mind. We're already on to the next one. Would you rather only have spoons or only have forks? Forks. Because if it's a spoon, it's like for soup or something, right? And you can drink soup with a bowl. Just like this. If you want it, like if you're doing it for your tea, you could stir that with a fork, but you can't very well skewer a steamed vegetable with a spoon. You'd have to eat that with your hands anyway. Would you rather drown to death in the ocean or burn to death in lava? Oh man, I don't know. Probably lava, because I'm thinking generally if you're near lava's the stuff that's liquid underground, right? Magma being the stuff that comes over the surface, or have I got that backwards? If you're anywhere near lava, you're gonna have, like, died anyway. You've been, like, eviscerated. And the shock of, like, hitting that kind of heat all of a sudden would probably knock you out anyway. I've never burned to death in lava, so obviously I don't know. I mean, not in real life anyway. But drowning is reportedly a very... I mean, it's the ocean also that scares me, but, like, it's just a pretty grim and lengthy process, I think. Because it's not that like sudden shock of I mean, you know, burning sucks, obviously. I'm not gonna justify this anymore. This is making me uncomfortable. Burn to death in lava. Oh, very split indeed. I just assume you would die a lot faster from the lava. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Have your voice delayed by 5 seconds or have your vision delayed by 5 seconds? Oh, voice. Does that mean my mouth makes the movement and then it happens later? Either way, vision delayed by 5 seconds would make it hard to do much, since I'm so reliant on it. So, yeah, that one. Oh, wow, I'm very much not alone in that one. Obviously, this would be very inconvenient, but just, like, not even thinking about it once I consider the eye thing. Would you rather marry your enemy but you slowly become compatible, marry your crush but you slowly become incompatible? I mean, enemies to lovers is like, the best trope ever. You marry a wisecracking villain character who, like, has a giant sword and... Am I thinking too hard about this? And then within a few weeks, you know, you're going on each other. Would you rather be able to predict the actions of others or be able to influence the actions of others? That's kind of the same thing, isn't it? If I can influence them, then I know what's going to happen. How could you influence it in a certain... Oh, I guess it's like... Oh, no, I guess there's... Oh, no, okay, right. Basically, you remove the other's autonomy in that situation. Because if you don't know what they're already going to do, and I say, walk across that street... who knows if they were gonna before or not. Be able to predict the actions of others. Predict the actions of others. On the one hand, I don't like the idea of having control over the entire human population. And I guess animals, it just says others, so that could include animals, I guess. That seems like far too much power for an idiot like me to wield. But be able to predict the actions of others, that'll just make me paranoid, won't it? Well, I'd be able to, so I don't have to do it, I guess. And I ditto for the influencing actions. but then be influenced the actions of others. You can do some major, like, this might be a situation of those who have the power to have to, right? Think of all the wars that could have been stopped if I should step up to the plate here, even if it makes me very uncomfortable. If I have that choice, it does just say influence, it doesn't say directly control. Would you rather own all the weapons in the world but only master one, or master all the weapons in the world but only use one? Well, if I owned them, I could destroy them all, so that, please. Oh, wow, equal 50-50, wow. I mean, I don't have any use for using weapons, so why would I want to master them? Would you rather lose all your memories but keep skills, or lose all your skills but keep memories? Interesting, because memory and skill are somewhat related, right? But I think generally what they're saying here is, via magic, you'll be completely amnesiac, but you'll still be able to do... I don't have many skills. You know what, actually? Let's lose all my skills. I have virtually none. What, playing video games, I guess. Even then, iffy. Editing videos. I don't have any, like, anything like archery or, like, chemistry that is like something that takes a very, very long time to learn and is like a skill that's very valuable and cherished. I think that's it. That's kind of sad, isn't it? But I always knew it. Anyway, memories would be more important to me in that case. Because, I mean, just think about the stress that would put on the people around you if you suddenly became an overnight amnesiac. If you suddenly had an off day and were, like, clumsily failing to, like, wash dishes or whatever, people would just be like, what's wrong with you, man? and that's my life anyway. Would you rather have someone die when you touch them, or have someone die when you make eye contact with them? Oh. Have someone, as in it only happens once in my life, or like this just happens anytime you touch someone or make eye contact? Oh man. I had a nightmare when I was a kid once that anyone I touched died instantly. And it stuck with me forever. It was such a scary dream. I guess the semantics, I'm trying to, like, you're really supposed to go with your gut on these, I think. But I guess some of the fun is also taking them too seriously and trying to logic it out. Because I'm thinking, like, if it's as in touch them as in my skin hits their skin, I can just wear, like, you know, a hazmat suit. But then again, it's like, eye contact, you could, you know, just sort of look at the ground all the time and give yourself some kind of helmet, I guess. Because if you had to not ever touch someone's skin, if you had to never look into someone in the eye, you could probably get... I mean, people would think you're weird, and they'd probably be like, look at me! But you'd be like, nah, I'm sorry, I'm shy, or whatever. And you might get away with that. But having to explain that you can't touch them, because the only way you would prove it is if you actually killed someone, right? Which would suck. So I'm gonna say, you know, this one would be easier to cover up, just, you know, put on gloves and stuff. I'm saying the circumstances around it are such that no one would believe you, and then you would accidentally kill someone. Whereas, I don't want to look people in the eye because I'm shy is a real thing that happens, so... probably this one. I understand why more people are saying this, because it's easier to not touch people, but like going through a crack, if it's that you can touch their clothes and then just the magic knows that you're touching the person, therefore, then you wouldn't be able to like go anywhere. You wouldn't have people hand things to you, so on and so forth. Would you rather have a bad body odor? Wow. Would you rather have a bad body odor or have bad breath? Bad breath, if you're breathing through your nose, you're not smelling that as much, and you had to be pretty close to smell that, compared to body odor can reach it pretty far away, so I guess bad breath. Neither is especially pleasant. Okay, I'm in the majority there. Sensible, sensible. Would you rather be able to... and no one's breath smells like peachy anyway, I wouldn't say. You can make it smell like vaguely of mint when you use toothpaste, but like it still smells bad. Would you rather be able to explore the universe or be able to explore the unknowns of the Earth? I assume they're positing like a sci-fi context here, like you're gonna fly around in a ship or in a submarine, not like cosmically like oscillate through space. I'll go the unknowns of Earth. I'm not sure I'm going to find much out there in my lifetime. It's a big place. Would you rather play video games for the rest of your life or watch movies for the rest of your life? Well, that's an easy one for me, I'm afraid. Ooh, I'm surprised with how much there was in favor of me. I thought it would be much more 50-50 or leaning toward movies, but I'm definitely much more of a video games kind of guy. Not that I don't love movies. There are plenty of movies I love. I like Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Silent Voice, Jaws, Dark Water, all great movies. The Dark Knight, the Lord of the Rings films. Would I rather improve my physical health by 50% or my mental health by 50%? Mental health. It's always just good to have a buffer there, isn't it? I can improving your physical health by exercising is slightly more easy than just improving your mental health by like changing a mindset, right? So even if I'm in a mentally alright place, I've been better, I've been worse. My physical health is definitely worse than my mental health because I'm very out of shape. Just like mental health is very big and you don't want to risk that one. I'm not in poor health, I'm healthy and robust. Aside from my athleticism, basically. So yeah, the mental health is a sensible thing. Would I rather have a romantic relationship with a dog or a cat? Dog's much more emotionally available. Cat would just, like, leave. But then again, because I'm assuming it's not suggesting it's like a gajinka or whatever the term is, where it's like a cute anime girl with some dog-like features or cat-like features. God, I wish. I'm assuming they're saying I'm actually in a romantic relationship with said four-legged animal. And I think what they're trying to ask me here is which which like personality archetype or of that like bouncy, springy, always in a good mood dog versus the aloof, wandering cynicism of a cat is what they're getting at here. But I'm thinking of like, if I'm in a romantic relationship with one of these animals, first of all, I'll be put on a list if anyone knows, and second of all, I would not want anyone to know that. So which would be easier to conceal? Probably the cat, because the cat would only spend so much time with me anyway, whereas the dog would like break down my front door to come to work with me. And, you know, I guess no one else would be able to tell that we had a romantic relationship at that point. It would just look like an excited dog. But the cat would be easier to conceal, and since you would want to conceal it, I'm gonna go with that. 50-50, wow. But in terms of, if we're talking about like a cute anime girl with a doggy, sprightly personality, or like a grumpy, cynical, aloof cat girl, obviously I'm taking the dog girl. Let's move on, please. Only be able to play Fortnite for the rest of you live, or only be able to play Minecraft for the rest of your life. I've never played Fortnite, and I'm not good with shooters, and Minecraft is a bit more sandboxy. Minecraft, a bit more open-endedness to that. I'm also just fond of Minecraft. Would I rather travel by myself or travel with family? Ooh. I mean, I suppose it depends where you're traveling. Just like generally speaking, yeah, I'd probably travel by myself because when you're doing it with family, it's like it is very fun. I wouldn't trade those moments in my past for the world necessarily. But at the same time, sometimes it's like your like energies don't align, and they're eager to go do something, and you're like, I'd kind of rather hang out at the hotel today. Or then you get to the hotel and they're all like, oh, I'm tired, and you're like, oh man, I want to go see the sights. And so then you end up in weird situations there, fun situations. But like given the choice, I'd rather travel at my own pace and sort of see my everything. Fair enough. I think this is another bit of a introverted extrovert kind of question. Would you rather stay? Oh no, don't make me do this. I'm not gonna answer this. I'm just gonna. Which one did it hit? I don't actually even know which one it picked. I think it was probably this one because this is where my mouse ended up. But damn, people had some thoughts on that. No, I would not be able to choose that. I think they'd probably both die because of my indecision. But I'd rather only eat burnt food or always bite my tongue when I eat. Because biting your tongue when you eat sucks. Although I basically do it all the time when I eat anyway. And it makes it sound like it's not just one bite per meal. It's like every time you eat the food, you're magically also biting your tongue. But only eat burnt food. Like, I could handle that, because I don't have a very sophisticated palate anyway. I'll eat anything. But, you know, burnt, like, it would suck. It's not great. But, like, health-wise, you're gonna, like, give yourself bad ailments by only eating burnt food. This is a rough one. Because, like, you know, you get some, like, you get, like, a barbecued steak that's, like, burnt black, and it's, like, there's, like, a gross taste to it. But there's still, like, a bit of crispy goodness in there. It's not, I assume they're not saying it's burnt like all the way through, because then it would just be like charcoal. And you can't eat that, or you oughtn't to. But if it's burnt enough, then it's gonna be bad for you. Carcinogenic and all that. So I guess always bite your tongue, but that would also really suck. Pretty split there too, I see why. Would I rather have everyone judge or think about everything I do, or have nobody care about me at all? Oh, I don't know, I wilt pretty quickly under criticism. I think this would make me so extremely anxious. I wouldn't say everyone judges and thinks about everything I do. And already the amount that it does happen sets me on edge. So this would also be pretty grim, but it wouldn't make me quite as anxious. At least, because people can still like listen to you without caring about you. So it's not that I wouldn't get any human interaction or like reception. And at least if it's like this, it makes it sound like no one's like furious about me, which I could also handle. Yeah, I think I'll go for that. But it's a tough one, because like you do need that in your life, don't you? Would you rather fail every class in school but everyone is proud or happy for you, or pass every class but everyone hates or envies you? Everyone is proud and happy for me? What the hell is the downside then? I don't need a class to get certain jobs. Certainly didn't need one for this job, although acting classes do help. But I'd rather no electricity or no internet. I guess no internet. Because without electricity, what are you going to do with internet without electricity? Yeah, no internet. I mean, obviously, that another thing that would suck for doing this job here, but would I rather leave my family or leave my friends? When it says leave them, do you think it just means, like, move to a different country where you will not see them in person? Or does it mean, like, have a falling out with them and never to speak to them again? I don't really have an argument either way, because I'm not sure how specific it's supposed to be. I'm gonna say leave your family purely for the argument that I think there are plenty of stories of people who grow up with a bad family and leave and are able to like make a found family with friends. I don't feel like I hear quite as many reports of people shunning the entire outside world and only hanging out with like the two people in their house. So though I love my family and wouldn't trade them, I'm gonna do that. And that was my rationale, but I didn't really understand the question super well. So, that's that. Would you rather be married forever or be single forever? Married. I would love to spend my life with a person who wanted to spend it with me and was happy with that. I guess maybe the implication there is you only get one, and you might not be a good match, but then you're stuck with each other according to that magic spell on the left side. Ooh, and carrying on the awful, uncomfortable marriage talk. Would you rather have your spouse picked for you or have your permanent career picked for you? I think I have to go spouse on this one, because there are certain careers that would kill me, and that would be bad for... Well, that would be bad. Like, if my permanent career becomes, like, a bear wrangler, and I do not have time or passion or interest in coming to grips with that, I will be killed by a bear. You know what I mean? Whereas have your spouse picked for you, I mean, it's unpleasant, but if you really didn't like each other, you could just be married by law and then, like, live in separate houses or whatever, I guess. That's not illegal, right? So, yeah, that. But, like, I'm gonna die if they pick me as, like, a volcano surveyist. Would you rather be a supervillain or a superhero? Superhero. Because I don't know, I just don't want to hurt people. Responsibility sucks, but living your life to worsen other people's sucks worse, I would say. Would you rather have everything you eat taste like chicken or have every voice you hear sound like Kanye West? Oh, chicken for sure. I don't mind the taste of chicken. And I wouldn't want to be walking down the aisle with someone who sounded like Kanye West. No offense. I just wouldn't say he's what does it for me. Would you rather be stuck living forever or only live for 10 more years? 10 more years, please. No live forever. Because there's no one doing that. At least you can enjoy your 10 years. If you live forever, you enjoy the next few hundred then, but then the rest of eternity, which is a much larger portion than the next few hundred years, are really grim, probably. Would you rather be forever happy but someone else is depressed, or be forever depressed but someone else is happy? Oh, just bite the bullet and say this before I consider everything else. Oh, come on! What? I assume the implication is that you being happy results in the other ones. Like there's no way to re-happy them. And I guess it would be the same for you, but I don't want to. How could I possibly be happy living with the knowledge that I ruined someone else's life? I think that question's a catch-22. Would you rather have a home gym or a home cinema? Oh, a gym, probably. I mean, what do I need a big TV for? I'm fine with my monitor here, but a home gym, that would be really useful. Ooh, 50-50. Interesting. I wouldn't consider myself like a fitness junkie, but like I'd like to get into shape one of these days. Not soon, because I'm busy, but like when I'm less busy, I will. No one judge me. Would you rather have 10 wishes or be a genie that grants wishes? 10 wishes is a lot of wishes, man. Hell yeah. And also, I'm assuming I could just say I could wish myself into a genie. Although, again, Aladdin would tell us that then I would be trapped in a lamp. Would I rather shatter the minds of the people that I speak to or severely beat up people that I touch? Going back to the one of people you touch die versus people you look at die. Either way here, you're going to have to explain this to people. I guess you could just write everything down. But I'm sort of assuming this suddenly starts happening in my life and wasn't the way it has been my whole life. And if it suddenly starts happening, it would be a lot harder to convince people that all of a sudden I gotta not speak just by writing stuff to them. But, you know, for touching, I guess. But you can make the argument, oh, I've suddenly developed, you know, a fear of germs, I guess. So I guess there's that. Oh, I thought this one would be more because people would have gone for the writing thing, but guess not. Would you rather only be able to swim in pools with hot water or only be able to swim in pools with very cold water? Now, it says very cold. I don't swim in pools very often, but I would probably go for the cold because I just prefer the cold to the heat. And swimming in the cold is like, it's like, oh my god! And then it's fun because it's like, this feels weird! Whereas swimming in hot water is just like, ow, 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 ow. So I would go very cold. Plenty of people prefer the heat, and that is fine. I'm not one of them. Would you rather never be able to play any game again or never be able to watch or stream anything again? Example, YouTube and Netflix. Now, am I still allowed to proof watch my own videos? I guess even if I couldn't, that wouldn't be the end of the world, because I haven't, yeah. Yeah, I've never watched stream anything. I definitely am much more into gaming. I'm one of the only one for this one. Interesting. Would I rather suffer from a disease without any cure or suffer a wound that will never heal? Disease without any cure? Probably a wound, because disease implies contagious, implies difficult to be around other people. And a disease, I mean, that's very inspecific about how grim it is, how likely your chances of dying are, so I would go, a wound that will never heal still makes it sound like it's not life-threatening, like it's just you'll like mess up your arm or something. And at least you could still be around other people and everything. Okay, I'm also in the majority there. Interesting. Would you rather have all your family hate you, or have everyone but your family hate you? Oh, it's basically like the leave friends and stuff thing again. Like, I love my family, but what can I do if I can't leave my house because everyone detests me so strongly, right? Like, at least I can move on even if it'll be difficult, and hopefully they can too if I do this. If I do this, unless I die, the entire world will be like worse off whenever I walk around, more so than it already is. So I guess I'll go for this. Just practicalities speaking there rather than emotion, I guess. But man, that makes me feel emotions. I hope that never happens. Would you rather wear a sweatshirt in 90 degree or wear a t-shirt in 10 degree? Oh, this is Fahrenheit, I suppose. Of course it is, because 90 degrees Celsius would be dead. 10 degrees Fahrenheit is what, like negative 12 Celsius? Oh my god, it's exactly what it is. That's all right. I'll handle it. I'm good in a t-shirt. I mean, I assume we're not saying I'm like sleeping outside, but as long as it's, you know, not like got holes all over it. A t-shirt, I'm usually okay down to like negative 10 Celsius. Just if I'm like walking outside to go for like a 20-minute walk or whatever. At that point, it's uncomfortable for sure, but a sweatshirt in 90 degree weather would probably kill me. Like, I would pass out. I don't do the heat at all. But I did so the other day when I was shoveling the snow. It was like negative 15 degrees and I was in a t-shirt, so yeah, I'd be alright. It's at that point, it's mostly just your arms that are cold. Your core is still pretty warm. Whether they act on Broadway or act in movies and TV. I took drama classes in high school and stuff, and on-stage work is quite fun. But I never was able to shake stage fright, and you know, in some ways that's good. Being anxious makes you perform better on stage in theory because you're more intent on not messing it up. But I like the idea of being able to do it 300 times, and we can take the best one of that that you get in movies and TV. So I'd probably go for that personally. But there's something very special about acting on stage, because you involve the audience in your energy. It's pretty irreplaceable, but not for me, I don't think. Would you rather scream loudly while you're asleep or be blind and deaf for the first 30 minutes after waking up? If you scream loudly while you're asleep, I presume that means you wake yourself up as well, so you don't really sleep, but, and this, I mean, just wake up a half hour earlier, and you should be golden, right? I'm already pretty, like, immobile for the first few minutes after I wake up. Would you rather cheat on someone or be cheated on? Definitely this. I don't want the guilt of that. You know, like, being insecure about my body is a lot easier to get over than, like, guilt over having done something kind of messed up to someone's emotional state, I think. Would I rather never listen to music again or always hear music playing? Music is so important that this is going to be the last question I end on. This is one of those things where, man, oh man, does it ever depend on the music. If it was like Breath of the Wild's Hyrule Field theme, that just is like light piano cruising around and kind of morphed and changed and was never quite the same, you may get used to that. If it was like Slipknot, I would go mad after the first 20 minutes, probably. Much as I love a good Slipknot song. But then it's like, never listen to music again. That means like, even like the video games and films I watch will just be suddenly very devoid of drama in certain ways. But it's probably better than taking the gamble that the music I hear playing is really bad or loud, right? It's a shame, I do love my music, but I'm gonna have to go with never listen to music again. And since that's where I'm ending this, I suppose that means, let's see how many people agree with me on that one. So few! And on that note, that is all for now. So the next week on the channel is going to be some more Fire Emblem Three Houses, our Verdant Assassin's Only run. And this was good fun. I'm glad I recorded this. It's always such a fun thought experiment to be like, what would that be like? And by all means, if there were any of those, my answers there that surprised you or that you had a compelling argument against, please drop them you know where. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That is all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! I suppose so. Studying is important. At least, although I don't know that we're going to find tons helpful about how to traverse Aelel, the Valley of Torment, where the goddess's enemies were supposed to have burned.